What is something that society deems wrong, but you think is right? Oh, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go ahead. First one I think that people think society deems is wrong, prostitution. You
Oh,
should be
that's a
able to
good
go
one.
out there and sell your ass. If you can't go out there and work and make money the right way, and it's coming down to either doing some illegal shit, you should be able to go out there and sell your ass. I don't understand what people's problem with it is. I feel like the problem with it, it's you have a whole dark shadow group of ugly people who know if they allow that shit, they would never make money. Yeah, there are OnlyFans models who don't make money because they can't sell a shit. Nobody wants to buy that shit. You got it's just, I'm just being honest with you. I feel like prostitution is one of
I
the main
agree.
ones that
I feel
motherfuckers
like
should be able to do
The
because it
there's a
don't
lot
people
make
of
no
pros.
sense.
the people who hate sex work the most are typically the most ugly ass motherfuckers. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
Or
think it
they
would
old,
really benefit
can't fuck
society,
no more.
genuinely.
They mad at the youngins. Look at them out there just trying to go out there and fuck. No, it's not my fad, Mabel, that you old and saggy and nobody want to do nothing with you no more.
It's very
Go there
true.
and die. Like let us do what we want to do. I can't stand people out here trying to boss people in. Or like when people think abortions is wrong. Bitch, you're not doing it. Like I don't understand who are you to
Mhm.
tell me what my body. This is not you. Like I don't understand. If you feel like abortion is wrong, don't do it on your side. I'm not asking. People are so selective with the things that, oh, this is wrong, but I'll do this shit over here. That shit wrong too. I hate when people act like they have this moral compass over people and shit. Like
Preach, Rayshawn.
Hell yeah, Ray.
I'm being honest, like, bro, I hate selective fucking. Have y'all listened to the Chris Rock? Like, he got this whole thing about being like selective outrage. The whole special's about that, and that's one thing I deem is wrong right now with society is selective outrage. Is people are they'd be so mad about one thing, but then somebody else do that same thing just because they like that person more. It's not a big deal. What? You got to be the same way across the board. If you are like, I feel like, you know what? Let me let somebody else go.
No.
I
So
mean, listen.
building off what you said, Ray, though, it kind of ties into because I misread this question at first. I thought it
Mm,
was the opposite. I thought it was like, what's something that's deemed okay in society that's not right with you? I misread it. I don't know if I'm dyslexic. I don't know if I got a brain tumor. I got a lot of shit going on,
maybe
but
both.
could be both. A lot of things that you just said kind of reminded me what my answer would be had the question been worded the other way around. Everyone, for whatever reason, and by everyone, I mean like the country writ large, like, obviously not everybody in it, but we're so okay with Christianity and like how much we let it dictate what we do, like from our policy perspective in this country. And it's just
Gross.
like so normalized and it's okay. And exactly, Cal, it's fucking gross. So that would have been my answer if it was like, what is something that's deemed okay in the country that, actually isn't okay to you? And it kind of ties into a lot of what you just said, Rayshawn. It's just like the hypocrisy of being like, I want things the way that I want them to be. I'm basing it off of this fucking book that was written a few thousand years ago, but like not fucking really. Maybe it was written like 600, 700, 8 years ago by a bunch of fucking people who didn't actually know Jesus. That's neither here nor there, but we've written it for the purposes of being able to dictate what you can and cannot do from a moral perspective. And that shit, old fucking hat. And it ties into fucking the abortion issue that you just brought up, which made me think of this whole thing. It's like, if you don't want to do things for yourself because it goes against your own personal beliefs, that's
Then
cool,
don't do
brother.
them.
More power to you. That's literally why we fucking live in America.
Hmm.
But when you try to make sure that everyone else is unable to do something because it doesn't align with your own personal moral and religious values, that's when I say, do me a favor and go lay down in traffic and make sure that you get hit by a car because you are literally contributing to the negative. You're literally drawing away from society. You're making society worse with how you're
Mm.
choosing to fucking act by trying to do this. So that would have been my pick for, what's okay but is actually not okay. It would have been Christianity. But now that I understand how the
What's the real
question
pick
works,
then? Yeah.
yeah, my real pick would have been self-employed, working as a self-employed person. And I say that ironically as a person who now has a job for whatever goddamn reason. I can't believe I just said that out loud in public, but yep, there it is. Um, I feel like being self-employed gets sort of a bad rap because it's like, oh, the uncertainty. What are you going to do for your retirement? It must be a
It's
real
fucking
burden when
awesome to be self-employed.
it is and it isn't. Like there are some
If
things
you
that you have
yeah,
to try to
certain
figure out,
parts.
but like for the most part, being self-employed fucking owns, dude. And anybody who tells you that it doesn't own, they might be speaking from
They're jealous.
experience and knowing that there are some hardships and some difficult parts to overcome. But anybody who's speaking to you from a point of like, how could you ever do that with the uncertainty? They're probably somebody who's been working in a job for like the last 30 years and never ever thought about working for themselves. So
Yeah.
yeah, working for yourself, being quote unquote unemployed, but actually self-employed, is one of those things that society looks down on that I think society should go fuck itself about. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Kelly, what do you think?
Well, my first thing I want to say is like Rayshawn, thank you so much for that like fucking empowerment because for real, like I think decriminalizing prostitution and drugs
That too.
would really make it just makes everything less dangerous. It's all about harm reduction. You know what I mean? Like making something illegal doesn't mean it's going to stop. It just is going to make it more harmful for the people that are doing it, which just makes it worse for everyone. So I'm totally for that. Also, I'm super pro choice. So I think that that's great too. You don't want to have an abortion, don't have one. You want to have an abortion, have one. Like that's all great. But then my other one here, is that I think that it should be way more normal and less like shamed, for medically assisted suicide, which people kind of really don't like talking about. But I think there are a lot of people out there that have debilitating, chronic, seriously painful, horrendous conditions that don't want to be suffering through them, don't want to be spending every day in horrendous pain. And I don't really see why it's like so frowned upon if they are on board for it and they've got this terrible quality of life and they want to kill themselves. Why not? Like, why does that have to be so frowned upon? I don't know. Like,
Damn, Cal.
I mean, I think it's weird that suicide in general is illegal because it's kind of like, what are you gonna do? Throw me in jail? Like, what are you gonna do? Kill me? Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? But like specifically for people who have like chronic, incurable, debilitating, painful conditions. Why are we making them suffer? Why are we making them continuously live every day in pain? I don't know. I just think it's like fucked.
I'm not ready to see Nana or Papa have the plug pulled on them because I have my own
What if they're pulling it
needs and
themselves?
wants.
You
Yeah,
know?
no, I don't disagree with what you're saying, Kelly. Like honestly, it's something that I
Yeah.
can't say I've ever really given much thought to, but once you kind of laid it out, I'm like, yeah, like
Why is that? Like,
picture somebody with like ALS or like I've had friends whose parents have been diagnosed with like stage 4 cancer, like literally zero chance of making a comeback. Like
mhm,
they're counting down the clock. And it isn't to say like, knowing they have 4 6 months left to live isn't a good thing because they can do
right.
what they got to do, say their goodbyes or whatever. But I can very easily envision a scenario where one of those parents would have been like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think I'm
good.
ready to
Like, this
go.
sucks. I'm in
Yeah.
pain. I don't want to
I'm
draw
gonna
this
check
out
out,
longer
guys.
than I have to. I'd rather go
Yeah.
out feeling like myself than, a husk of a person. I,
And
I,
that's also
that's
like
tough.
from this weird, like, I also think this is like a Christianity thing because people would be surprised sometimes to learn that our nation doesn't have a national religion. Um, we
No,
don't.
we
The
are a
United States
Christian
doesn't
nation.
have a
No.
national religion. But religion does influence a lot of like the powerful people in our country because of taxes and fraud. Um, so all of the really wealthy people are religious, and then they got to like make rules, and it comes from like this weird moral obligation and this weird feeling that like suicide is immoral, but Like, says fucking who? Like, I believe in reincarnation, so I feel like whatever you want to like
Do you
hop
know
onto the next
why?
life,
You know why
have at
wealthy
it.
politicians are religious, Kel?
Cause they're pedophiles.
I mean, I'm sure that plays into it in some level.
I'm
Religious,
really cynical.
excuse politicians are religious
Tax breaks.
because churches don't pay taxes.
Yeah,
If
it's
the
like so
churches
fucked.
need to get policy enacted, they're more than capable of lobbying
Donate.
lots and lots and lots of money
So
to any and
fucked.
all politicians. So if you're a politician, it would be kind of looking a gift horse in the mouth if you pretended that you weren't some sort of religious. So
Yeah,
I
it's like
think
really,
that's
really
why
weird.
a lot of people at least
They
make the
pretend.
pretend. They
Yeah,
pretend.
it's like playing dress up, you know? Like, I don't know. Just be a good person, mind your own business, and
Tax the churches. Yes.
let the prostitutes like be out, you know? I'm
Also,
pro
yeah.
sex work.
Honestly, Ray, you fucking hit it right on
That
the
was the
nose at
best
the beginning
one.
of this segment,
It's
dude.
the
Like, if you
oldest
could sell your
profession.
ass, sell your ass. It's the oldest prostitution in
My
the world.
ass. Yeah, like fucking if it's
Might as
nice, I can
well.
make $20. I want to make $20.
We should talk about your rates, Kyle.
I was gonna say, is that normal? What's the rates? I don't know. I haven't like shaved my legs in 4 years, so I don't know if that affects.
Maybe you are accurate in your
There's
rates.
a
Maybe you are
niche,
accurate in your
maybe.
rates.
You know.
Yeah. So I forgot what my answer even was. Oh, being self-employed. Rayshon's was
Yep.
prostitution, and Kelly's was religion.
No, mine was medically assisted suicide. What a
Oh
high
yeah, that's
note,
right.
you
I
Man,
don't
that's
even know how
fucked
you
up.
messed that up, but
Because we got so caught up in the church part of
know?
it and trying to
oh
justify why people think it's wrong. But yeah, medically assisted suicide, man.
Why not? You know, like just
I'll tell you
fucking
why
go for
not
it.
though. It's because people go through highs and lows, and there are gonna be times. I mean, it
But
has
I'm
to be
saying
like
like people who have
you have to fit
chronic
the right criteria.
debilitating pain. There
Yes,
are
yes,
people
yes,
out
yes.
there who literally live every single day in 10 out of 10 abject, horrendous pain every day. And it's
I've been
like
there. I've lived in 6
forever.
months of fucking pain all day, every day, morning, noon, and night while I slept, and
What
wanted
if
to
that
kill
was gonna
myself.
literally be forever? Like there was no end in sight. None. No recovery, no surgery, no nothing. That's just
Yeah.
it.
Then maybe I would've, but you know what?
You
I
know?
was able to get a surgery 6 months down the road, and thankfully, I was able to walk comfortably again,
And
and,
even
you
that
know,
6 months, like you said, was horrible. You know what
it
I
was
mean? Like
awful.
I just feel like
I still think about that 6 months pretty much every day of my life. It
some of
was
these
the
people
most
don't have anything to live for. They don't have any family, you know, they don't have any
but
hobbies.
sometimes overcoming those really dark points in your life gives you a newfound strength that you didn't realize you I'm serious. Listen, I'm not trying to, like, undercut your medically assisted suicide thing. I'm sure it has its time and place based on certain
Mm.
criteria, but if I could have gotten some medically assisted suicide back in 2015 when my back is broken, bitch, I would have. And you know what? Glad I
Yeah,
didn't
me too.
because I do feel much better now. And I feel stronger for having overcome such shitty pain and constant, throbbing pain in my back and adversity or whatever. I feel like a stronger person
I
having
just
done
feel
it.
like it's a good option for people to have.
Yeah. If you got ALS, man, you got some Lou Gehrig, you got some stage 4 cancer, let's get you out of here,
Yeah.
dog. Take it up a bed.
We're all gonna die eventually. Yeah. Yeah,
Except
you're
me.
taking up a bed. Yeah, exactly. This is some resources. Let's think about it fiscally. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
we live in
come on.
America, baby. We live in a capitalist nation. I'm always thinking about things fiscally.
Mm.
I hate capitalism. But with that said,
Same.
that
Is that
is
the
the
fourth one? Society
yeah,
thinks it's okay, but it sucks.
yeah. Society thinks capitalism's sick. The free market
It's
will
such a
solve
dick.
all. What we should do is get rid of any and all regulations, so that way I can
Yeah.
send my kid back to a fucking leather factory for 6 goddamn cents an hour. Fuck you and your free market, you libertarian wannabe weirdos. I get that you think gay people are fucking okay and you want to smoke your weed, and somehow those two political philosophies don't fucking align with either left or right. So you think you're a libertarian, but guess what, dumbass? You're not a libertarian. Anyway, that's going to do it for the advice pod this week. Make sure you rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, unless you were very upset about everything that just came out of my mouth in the last 30 seconds. In that case,
Yeah. They're
you
like,
can
I'm a
get fucked, weirdo.
Christian. This
Yeah.
sucked.
Take your Second Amendment and your free market, and I'll meet you out in the fucking middle of Vermont or whatever, okay?
My priest doesn't molest any boys, I swear.
Yeah, my priest doesn't molest any boys since he got transferred to my fucking church from a new church that he used to be in
We keep an eye on
Arizona or
him.
whatever.